registrations, data repository, there is content, and there is, again, the necessity to understand what is the application for and how to serve that, the so-called semantic layer. So this is an excerpt of a case study we have been doing with Public Research Institute in Germany, and there we have said, well, how could we serve the intent, I want to move my family from Cologne to Brussels, with all the implications behind it, getting the kids out of school, finding new schools, find a house, contract a moving company, get under the double taxation contract, establish a business for the wife, cancel child benefits in Germany, apply for some in Belgium, all these big task lists if you as a person want to do this change of circumstance. How can we supply this with a one-stop experience in a government services portal? And we developed an ontology and a formal lexical grammar, so this person would enter an intelligent form and say, well, I want to move my family. And then by knowing who that person is, what are his circumstances, what is his family looking like, what is his professional history, then the system makes recommendation on how to best perform that task at hand and how to best benefit all the parties, the family having a nice place to live, kids in good school, the society maximizing the income taxes by directing the architect who wants to settle down to an urban area where business would be best. And, thing in a geospatial context where intelligent retrieval, questions like where would be the best school, where can I expect not too many traffic jams in the rush hours when I go to work, based on a knowledge base can really be answered and innovation can be achieved. We are now in the process of implementing that pilot apply it to more use cases, not only moving from A to B, residential move, but also pay local taxes, establish a small business, extinguish a fire if you wish, deal with a flood, anything which involves more than one organization and which is critical to understand the semantics. So this was like the business reason why we have to become smart and how can we become smart. The next 5 slides are roughly sketching out the technology enabler we see in order to really implement this on a larger scale. We have defined a concept of a so-called digital society platform, where really the bridge is spanned between the policy layer, the political mandate, if you wish, down to the technology layer, and this thing is really integrated by interoperability into a coherent enterprise architecture which can serve the purpose. Then, and here I'm picking up on Benedict's presentation and knowledge. In order to really get to smart decisions, you have to gather data. And the data sources, they can be various. They can be sensors, like typically in a video surveillance environment, but they can also be totally unstructured, like having to take into account all the different documents, reports, regulations, which are, natural language text, and more being published on the internet. We heard this morning in the keynote session that in Spain alone, every day 180,000 pages are digitized and put onto the internet. So this is a huge amount of natural language text, which can, in theory, be analyzed and be supporting questions like if I build a factory at this specific location, what impact will this have on the natural habitat in the next 100 kilometers? The knowledge probably is out there somewhere in reports from different research and study groups. More and more it's put onto the internet, so the capability to do this type of advanced text analysis is really crucial. Technology to do this is there. Data to smart decision is one very important building block. Then new process models. Supply chain analytics, this is something which is explored. It's very mature. You can buy tools in order to support that type of business processes. Totally different if you look at something like water management, the management of the smart electricity grid. So this, in the respect of standardization, is a white space. Lots to do there, and as we drive into more business process automation in these use fields, we see new information and process models. Then service quality, you don't have to read this in detail. The message is it comes in different layers. It's not service quality like in the IT only. It's also coming up to the real client value, to citizen satisfaction, to public safety measures. So it's really a cycle which has to interchange information, monitoring figures in a constant fashion. Security. We all know that typically in a factory they are very advanced supervisory control and data acquisition mechanisms to, keep production at life. In the days of smart planet, smart cities, smart government, we have to bring these mechanisms one layer up and apply it to the IT systems which really support the smartness of our different businesses. Finally, there is a dynamic infrastructure. There is that paradigm of cloud computing available to really support this on the physical layer and reuse all the different components we are finding in the environments. So finally, this is the argument I would like to share and discuss with you. Stimulus investments for an agile digital society and economy in the 21st century must leverage all the elements of modern infrastructure, and this means converging digital, physical, natural, and human infrastructure resources. And finally, the integrated network and virtualized computing power infrastructure is essential as a foundation for any such globally integrated ecosystem as governments needs to be it. And that will support the smart e-government services for citizens and businesses, as I hoped I have brought them somewhat closer to you. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for this very good insight into what can be done with smart e-government services. The floor is open for some questions, remarks. Yes, please. Please press the red button.
Valentine Myron, VMB Partners. I was willing